So, the book of Joshua. And it's a simple book. It's just the conquest. But before we begin, there is a soon-to-be hurricane forming in the Atlantic, the Caribbean to be Pacific, potentially, that is going to be predicted to become a Category 5 and hit Jamaica. Please pray that the storm will be like all the others we have so far and just nothing. Anyway, I think I'm just going to point out interesting things this time, not necessarily go one by one. The first chapter is just the Lord commanded Joshua to lead the people. And all that. Strong and courageous. And so, yeah. The Spies. He's going to Jerusalem. Not Jerusalem. Jericho. Yeah. So, first thing, this isn't just a house. And yes, she is a prostitute and an innkeeper, because it is an inn. Those are one and the same. Also, something we learned from Hammurabi and Hammurabi's Code and a few other ancient sources, inns were historical places for setting up rebellion. Rebellions. Meaning, some, foreigners come in who've been, hanging around your city for a while. You probably send out some people to investigate. They're like, oh, don't worry about us. Then they come into your city and you're like, better watch them. And then they immediately go to an inn. Yeah, that's suspicious. So an inn back in the day, and this is not going to be appropriate, would have multiple women working at it who will take care of any of the guests. Or, if it's a small enough inn, just the main woman, and she would take care of any of the guests. And not the take care as in it. No, the different type of care. Caring for their personal needs in a special way. Yes. So, what does Rahab do? She says, yes, the men came to me, but I did not know where they had come from. I didn't know they were Israelites. I didn't know. How was I supposed to know? Yes, my inn is in a wall, which technically it shouldn't, because that just disrupts the structural stability of the wall, but no one actually cared, because people are humans. Actually, that's another thing with the wall. Which, yes, there is proof of destruction around the time that Joshua would have conquest. Anyway, the wall had two parts, the inner and outer, and the middle would then filled with rubble. And what people would do was clear out the wall and carving little homes. Yeah. So, already know that in this place where rebellion typically gets fermented, already knowing it's inside the wall where you can see how strong it is. Yes. So she's like, I didn't know they were Israelites. I didn't know where they came from. It's not my fault. They are. Oops, I guess. And, at dusk, when it was time to close the city gate, the men left. I did not know which way they went. Go after them quickly. You may catch up with them. Like, and then they left. I don't know which way they go. So, don't. You can't ask me any more questions. Sorry, I don't know. But here's something. That's not true! But she had taken them up to the roof and hidden them under the stalks of flax she had laid out on the roof. If this was all the makeup, why have a prostitute of all things? Before be the ones who saved the spies. Why? Why not have a fear? Have like this fear, mighty Lord, who secretly worships Yahweh, and Also, we get to know that, well, because they already have been doing some warring and lived in the region for a while, they, of course, the people of Jericho would have heard what was going on there. I know that the Lord has given this land to you, and that a great fear of you has fallen on us. So all who live in this country are melting in fear because of you. We have heard how the Lord has dried up the water of the Red Sea. Of course they would hear that, or to see it reads. For when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to Sihon and Og, the two kings of the Amorites, east of the Jordan, whom you completely destroyed. Like, of course. They would. Anyway, now then, please swear to me by the Lord that you will show kindness to my family, because I have shown kindness to you. Give me a sure sign that you will spare the lives of my father and my mother, or my brothers and sisters, and all who belong to them, and that you will save us from death. Yes. So the men swear to it. Like, you would have to be absolutely crazy to think they're not going to be hearing these stories. They're not going to be witnessing, oh, what's going on today? Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it. Nothing's happening over there. But are you sure? No, we should just not pay attention to that and, just ignore it. There's probably some atheists out there who think that's a Bible contradiction, because apparently being skeptical means you can't use your brain. Yeah, I am being skeptical of atheism. I'm highly skeptical of atheism. Oh wait, I can't be skeptical of that because reasons. Okay, so she let them down the hills. Then the men said to her, "This oath you made us swear will not be binding on us unless we have entered the when we entered the land, you have tied this scarlet cord in the window through which you let us down. And unless you have brought your father and mother, your brothers, and all your family into your household, if anyone goes outside your house into the street, his blood will be on his own head. We will not be responsible for anyone who is in the house with you. His blood will be on our head if a hand is laid on him. But if you tell what we are doing, we will be released from the oath you made us swear. And she agrees. She agrees. No reason for submission. Just see the supply, see how scared they are, what state they are in. So, yeah. And it is a scarlet thing. A scarlet robe. Hanging from the window, not as a sign not to be destroyed. Just like the Passover. Red on the door frame equals not being destroyed. There's a thing, a connection. And you know what's the craziest thing too? Well, Rahab is just a one-off character, right? Right? She's mentioned in the genealogy of Jesus. And in Hebrews' little Hall of Faith, she is mentioned. Yeah. She is a important person. No, the Bible, which is a woman-hating book of where they just didn't care about women. Why he elevated a common prostitute who just lied and betrayed her people to such a high position. Oh wait, maybe because the Bible doesn't just hate women. Maybe your dad does. Or some other people in your life did. But the Bible doesn't. They're just using the Bible to justify their hatred, and you telling them that their justification is correct isn't actually doing anything. I know that can be tough to hear, but yeah, it's not. And then we have, just to finish things off, the crossing of the Jordan, where they go across the Jordan. It's at flood stage, so there's water coming in like crazy. And yes, we do have archaeological evidence of a flood in northern Upper Jordan area, not too far away where this is said to happen. So again, there's been no archaeological find that has disproven the Bible. None. Yes, your atheist professor will act like there is, but there isn't, because your atheist professor is lying to you. For numerous of reasons. And then, yes, the sign of what happened, to go collect stones and make from the river and make a monument so people will remember what happened on that day, how the waters were stopped, and how Israel crossed the Jordan, and these stones are to be a memorial to the people of Israel forever. And you know, in this first part, I don't say anything that says Judah is the rightful king. All hail Judah. No. And even Rahab, ancestor of David, that doesn't get pointed out. She's like, not like, and her descendants were blessed to be royal rulers of. No, it doesn't say that. It doesn't. It just she's a person. She did thing. And then we have a circumcision, because Israelites forgot to do that, so they need to get re-circumcised. Yeah. Then they a big Passover. Yes, so that's some of the basic stuff in the Fall of Jericho, a story you probably heard a bunch about. But do you really know it? Probably not. You just have some Sunday school version of it. If you want to know more about the whole Jericho thing, go watch Ancient Egypt in the Bible. Anyway, that is all for now. Goodbye.